Discord, or you want me to?
Go ahead. I'm working on something real quick. I guess we're on Twitch. Hello, everybody. On Twitch. I can pull it up on my computer here in a second. Not a normal time, obviously. Well, not obviously, because I keep changing when we're doing things as we change the normal time on the banner.
Yep.
It is what it is.
And wonder if we have 0 viewers.
Yeah, no,
I
we might get Nicole in here or something.
Yeah, no, I kind of expected 0 viewers. So, but it's all good.
Oh, come on. I can't open that up until they finish doing their thing. Okay. I guess I'm about ready if you is.
Yeah. Let's do this.
All right. Kind of want to get.
Hey, it's LEP.
I was just opening your gift, LAP, and I was going to say something about you on the show. So there you go. Imagine 4 Ellie is LAP. I hope. Otherwise, it's going to be awkward. Awkward.
Turtle.
Did you add turtle? Is that like your new superhero that you're designing? Awkward turtle.
Awkward turtle.
Okay. After the ad, it should come up. All right, I guess here we go. Hey, everybody, welcome to an offset episode of Pokemon GO Podcast. I'm Darumaka podcasting Charles McFall. This time I'm at a work studio at Number One Studios in Covington, and joined by none other than Captain Captain Artica, Joseph Ard, because you made an effort to get your Captain America shield behind you.
Yes,
I really butchered that, but I tried.
You really did. You for sure did. And that's the Chinese knockoff that I ended up getting for free because I tried to return it and they wouldn't let me return it. So I contested the charge on my card. Yeah. So because their website claimed that you could free returns up to like 60 days, blah blah blah. Yeah.
It just came. It wasn't what they advertised on it. Yeah.
It's not even close to what it was. I think I've talked about it on the show before, but basically it's like a metal trash can lid that they painted and put some straps on the back.
It is what it is. I wanted to say, I think 4LA is watching today. Yep, LA Pieces, that's me. So every day, right, Joe, this is kind of part of my experience of the week. You have been pushing me on Pokemon Go to open the gifts, get that experience. and I'm moving that goalpost over the next year from 39 to 40. And I actually had to double check the other day. I am level 39 after 3 years of casually playing. But every day, without fail, I go to open my gifts, and 4Ellie has got a gift in there for me. And I never send one back. We're already super ultra best friends, whatever the highest best friends.
Super ultra best friends.
Our friendship's above 9,000. That's all you really need to know, Joe. That's all you really need to know. So I just wanted to say thanks. It's really awesome. And then for the LA comes out and watches today, it was just happened to be so really, really cool. We got some experiences of the week, Joe. What is yours, man?
So this week I actually got a new shiny, so that is always fun.
Yes, it is. I got a couple.
Grabbed a shiny Shuppet. And then I caught an Oshawott finally. Hadn't seen one yet, so that was fun. Got another Tepig, another Litwick. So yeah, just
I haven't gotten a pig yet, I don't think.
oh, you don't have Tepig yet?
I'm gonna double check, but I don't think I have.
The Fire Pig.
No, I haven't gotten that unless it came off of recents. With the gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah, having fun there. I also made a realization. There is the real probability that I will reach 40 times 2 before you reach 40.
But that's is it? Isn't it kind of not cheating? But it's like not a 1-to-1 comparison, or is it legit? Because you said when you get like level 38, you're halfway to 40 or something like that, right?
Yeah. So I'm currently sitting at a total experience of 32 million. So
how much do you have to have for 40?
I need 8 million more. For 40 once it's 20 million.
Okay.
So 40 million, so 8 million more will be my 40 times 2.
Well, that just hurts my paycheck every week. Actually, it doesn't. So I don't care.
And looking at yours, you're over 4 million away from hitting 40.
You're stalking me.
Sure am.
Yeah, no, that's about right. 4 million sounds about right. Yeah, I mean, when all you get experience from is opening gifts and the little catches you do with your gotcha, it takes a hot minute. It does, although this week has been an interesting play week, but have you got was that the extent of your trick or treat Halloween edition Pokemon Go experience of the week?
For the most part, yeah. I did do some trades to get some candies. I traded my Blitzel for someone else's Blitzel to get some candies, and just been having a lot of fun trying to hit more Rocket, Team Rocket stops lately. Trying to work on those medals. So hit several of those this week as well, and yeah, just having fun.
That's awesome. First off, thanks to Civilian on Base, who has now subscribed for 2 months. That's awesome.
Woot woot.
You were going to say something before I interrupted you there?
Yeah, so the adventure box, they keep switching it around, and I wish they'd go back to the old adventure box they had, where it had like 12 or 14 super incubators, and I actually cared about the extra stuff that wasn't incubators, whereas right now the extra stuff is max revives and pin apps. So I'm kind of hoping, I'm waiting until they switch that up, because right now all I have is my infinite incubator, and I'm sitting on 8 10K eggs. So I would like to spend money, but I don't, or spend my coins, but I don't want the current adventure box. I want them to go back to the old one, the good one. First world problems.
Yeah. I get that. I don't really look at the boxes anymore. I flipped through something the other day. I guess I flipped through all the clothes. I just can't. I can't bring myself to spend money on clothes because they do nothing. I mean, I get it. If you were like, oh my God, that's my favorite generation Pokemon, or that's my favorite Pokemon, nothing wrong with spending coins on getting that headgear or the shirt or whatever. But for me, if I spend money in the game, it needs to do something for my game. And in this case, it doesn't. But I got to get to I left open Discord so I could remind myself of my experiences this week, because I knew I might forget. And so I posted them right in our Discord, which is patreon.com/Pokemon Go Podcast. I know that's not PokemonGoPodcast.com, which we could do, but it's how you get to our Discord and our community, by supporting the show. And so I posted them there, so I forget. But it's driving me crazy that it's dingless. I'm gonna go ahead and run down the list real quick and then tell you how I got to these. But I got a shiny Murkrow this week. I evolved to my Stoutland. I evolved my Lampent. I had a ton. It turns out I had a ton of the LSD candies. So I use that. That's the multicolor rainbow, whatever they are.
Candies.
Yeah. So I used them to go ahead and involve Lampent and Cuffadrius. And so, yeah, I got those. That was a lot of fun. And now I can close Discord so Joe can keep it open. We're gonna read the other experiences. I just can't do that dingle anymore. But so Hugh, my buddy Hugh Morrison, he comes a couple times a year, and he came down this past weekend, and we find stuff. We make plans for him to do stuff like, he went to Six Flags for the Fright Fest on Friday night. But it was a little bit of a busy weekend. But he ended up wanting to go to the museum. I think on Saturdays when we went, and so he's like all up into the photography and stuff. And this is at the High Museum in Atlanta. So I just pulled out Pokemon Go the whole time. There were tons of stops to spend. Not to mention, of course, I'm obviously using my gotcha driving in and out. And I ended up looking at the quests that I had to do. And the whole use 108 berries, then turn around and catch 108 Pokemon. Well, using 108 berries took a lot longer than catching the 108 Pokemon. But I ended up playing a lot, and so I completed. And I'm still sitting on. By the way, I'm gonna put this on my screen. I'm not sure right there. It should show up. I am holding 3 completed tasks because I'm not doing Hippie Eevee. You're not going to make me. I am not even going to clear one. I know I have a 6 stamp and a 7 stamp, but I'm not going to do it. I am sitting on them and waiting until you give me something different, Niantic, because you're killing me. But I did finish the Spirit Bomb, a spooky message quest, and got Spirit Bomb again. And then made some progress in like Jumpstart Research and Troubling Situation. Just because here's some stuff I can do to, keep me entertained. And I'm going to go to my shiny list because there's actually, I have to leave a shiny that's not even listed up there that I picked up. And the thing is, I'm looking, I'm hunting, right? I'm doing all this stuff you're supposed to be doing when you're playing Pokemon, and I'm not getting them. It's only when I'm driving and I have the gotcha. I picked up the Murkrow on the gotcha. I picked up a Drifloon. I picked up a yellow, they should have gone red so you can have 99 Drifloons, and they're all red, and that would somebody would get that, but that would have worked for me. So now
that they can lure kids down into the sewer.
They do that anyway. So let's see what my count is up to now. That's 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 even. Well, I guess it's not even, but even rows. There's no spots open. I'm up to 21 shinies, which only 1 or 2 of those are duplicates. Like I'm holding a Cyndaquil for my friend Angie. So there's a duplicate there, and I have 2 Plusles. But everything else is I got a shiny Raichu. I've got that's my newest 2 is the Murkrow, which I'm gonna probably evolve up to a Honchkrow just because, and Drifloon. So there you go. Those are my experiences. So Joe, I got out and I played this week, and it was my experience for all of nothing because I'm at that level 39. It's gonna take freaking forever, man, to get any kind of experience there. I did have an interesting thing happen that may play. If it plays into the news, tell me, we'll hold it and we'll get to there. But I logged in. I opened up my phone the other day, and I've had ever since I've had my newest phone, which a month or 2, 3, I don't remember. Maybe it's spring. Of course, I have the Adventure Sync turned on, right? Because I want to get credit for that. And I've not had a week where it hadn't gone, hey, here's Monday. Here's your Adventure Sync stuff. But this weekend when I was playing, it reconnected like automatically. Like, hey, pops up a thing when I open up Pokemon Go. Do you want to connect your Adventure Sync? Well, yeah. And it didn't make me jump to any more steps. Then the next time I opened up, I was like, okay, it's been connected. I'm like, is that just a glitch or something happened?
They turned the nearby Adventure Sync feature back on.
Okay, so it's just a update.
Yep. Because they had taken it off because it was causing issues with crashing.
Oh man! Speaking of crashing, my whole gameplay just Rocky Eddie in the chat room says I saw a post saying that Hippie Eevee is sticking around for another month. Joe, why? Why? Before I scream and burn this building down, because that 2 months is ridiculous. 3. I think I'm going to rage quit the game for a month and not even play. My adventures of the week are going to be like, I didn't play this week. How you doing, Joe? Screw you, Niantic. Come on. I hope that's not true, Rocky Eddie. I hope, because, oh, my God. Now, I see Squitchy Twitchy ask, how do I turn on Adventure Sync, Joe? Well, I know you're showing it on the screen. Why don't you walk people through it at home on the podcast so they know?
So you hit the Pokeball, hit settings, And there, just above email and just below AR Plus, is Adventure Sync that you can turn on. And that's how you turn it on in the game. Depending on what type of phone you have, you may have to get into a separate app as well. So for iOS, you have to open up the Health app and go in and set. I can't remember exactly how to where you go in the Health app, but you have to set up or give it permissions. It might be in your settings even. Give your health.
And I think I think when you're not connected, the game actually walks you through. Hey, go to this place, go to that place,
Yeah,
and connect it.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, he found it. So we got some more ventures coming from our Discord, but I want to talk about this is the trick or treat edition. So you're being tricked and treated all at the same time because we were recording this podcast version. We're recording this. When is today? Wednesday morning, the day before. Almost over 24 hours before we normally do it because Thursday night falls on Halloween night, and our record time falls right into prime sugar time, and so Joe's gonna go sugar up his kids and instead of be here for the show. So we're recording it early. So you're being tricked if you're watching this live on Twitch. Well, not live, but you're watching it at a normal time because it will be replayed. We can't answer you. But for the podcast, they're like, yeah, no, we rose above that a long time ago. We don't care what you record.
Charles is being tricked by Rock Eddie because Hippie Evie is gone.
Oh, Eddie, killing me, man. You did. But the treat is you still get our sweet voices and faces. And like I said, I'm going to set up the replay for our regular time slot in case people missed it. What are some, please not all, what are some of the adventures? Because we have a great community and there's so many adventures of the week, especially from he who shall not be named. He tends to load a lot of stuff up. But what do you got, Joe?
I'm sorry. I was being distracted by Eddie. I've got all kinds of stuff for Adventures of the Week, which I already told you. But we've got all kinds of weekly updates coming up. Is that what you're talking about, the infographic here, Charles?
No, I was talking about the Adventures of the Week from Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Those jerks.
Oh, it's mostly just Terry.
People, I don't care. It actually is kind of, I mean, it's like 50% Terry, 50% everybody else.
He got a bunch of new shinies, some 0 percentages. You can see it on your screen if you're here live or on YouTube.
Or you can join us at patreon.com/Pokémon GO Podcast.
That is also true. Professor Pine got a Go Plus catch on a shiny Alolan Rattata. Nicole is showing off her trio of costumed starters, as well as her first Shieldon. So that's pretty awesome right there.
She's pulling down those costumes, man.
I haven't even seen any of the low-level starter raids, so I'm kind of miffed about that.
I think she's spoofing.
Maybe. or she's got someone in New York playing for her. No, probably not.
Well, if that was happening, we would be seeing the starter raids as well.
Shit.
I said, I don't know.
Maybe they only appear in California, don't you know?
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
And Austria, apparently.
Yeah. So apparently, I don't know is this real, Rock Eddie? He sent me a Facebook Messenger post with a new update.
It looks real, and it was released yesterday.
It does
as of this
real.
recording.
I'm not seeing any announcements on the official page, but what it looks like, it's a holiday update. And the date is stamped yesterday, but I don't see anything on Pokemon Go Live regarding this.
I'm going to Google a little bit. Well, go ahead and go over it.
But yeah, so this it shows a picture with a bunch of Pokemon with Santa hats. Is that Eevee? Is that an Eevee with mistletoe instead of flowers? I think it might be your favorite.
I'm gonna taser myself just to make the pain go away.
Stantler with a red nose and a Santa hat. It's got Obama Snow and its evolutions with Santa hats, and Pikachu with a purple Santa hat.
Nope. I'm on Reddit, and the comments on the comments on Reddit, because they end with "for the greater good" at the bottom. Okay, so no, it ramps up. Jump to the end because it ramps up. Eevee wearing holiday flower crowns will be the exclusive Pokemon appearing in research breakthroughs during this time. I would just stop playing. Stay tuned for even more exciting news over the coming weeks, including Wurmple in a party hat month, Pikachu in the top hat month, and Bidoof in a beaver hat month for the greater good. And if you look at the comments, I Googled it and found it on Reddit, but it pulled up. That. Wow, so you got me. I was about to get legit in here.
Another fake from. Yeah. You know what? We just got to start.
Eddie, you got Eddie. Joe, man. You got Joe.
Well, yeah, I questioned it off the bat.
Fooled me. This is another comment. Fooled me. I about chucked my phone across the room when I read that holiday flower crown Eevee nonsense.
What was it a month or so ago? Someone made a post about a fake announcement about EX raids were going to feature the different hatted Pikachus.
You know, and that's a good sign that to the company that okay, you did something right. You made a meme of yourself, which is viral, but it's a negative meme because we all are tired of the hats. They're stupid. Stop doing it. You did a little bit different with the starters and the costumes, and that's a limit. Okay, that's new and different, kind of nifty, sure, and we have to work, but stop with all the oh my god, and they legit put Eevee in that box for 2 freaking months. That dog is now Schrodinger's dog. I don't know if Eevee's dead or alive, but I'm not opening that box to find out. You know, technically,
Eevee, he
or she's both. But anyway, all right. Well, do we have any other good adventures in our group? Are we ready to move on to the
we are ready to move on.
All right. So we do have an infographic from yesterday. So we're actually a little bit closer to the start of the graphic from Wonderful One. And I mean, it's nothing we didn't already know, except maybe refreshing me on the bonuses for this Halloween event is 2 times catch candy, 2 times hatch candy, 2 times transfer candy. I did forget.
Well, that's what Halloween always is. It's all candy.
Yeah, which makes sense. Spirit Bomb. Have you caught your Spirit Bomb again this year?
I've been lazy about actually getting that done, to be honest.
Okay, he's tougher. Like I remember last year, it popped out. Well, the graphics have grown so much in the year since Spirit Bomb was here before. So it's not just this kind of before is this really cheap gif of a Pokemon. It seemed like the graphics, and he just kind of stood there with his head spinning. This time it's very updated. He looks a lot better, and he comes at you, bro. He comes at you hard sometimes. So it was fun trying to catch him. But yeah. And oh man, November 16th. Oh yeah, no, I missed it. That's why I went ahead and man, don't put it way back that far. Oh no, November 16th is coming up. I was thinking October. I forgot we have Chimchar coming up. I did evolve my Infernape this week.
You don't.
Because I finally had enough candies, and I thought I got them mixed up in my head. I thought that was the one I just missed, which obviously it was not. So. It'll be the one upcoming that I miss. So there's that. What's popping on you, Joe, for the graphic here?
Well, so with that Chimchar that you were just talking about, I kind of dig the it's not quite red and it's not quite pink color of Chimchar. So
it's like a fire-deed rose.
It's well, that's one way. I was gonna say burnt pink if that's the thing, but yeah. So I'm kind of digging the coloration there. The different events that are happening out and about. So there's gonna be in London a Pokemon Center London tie-in event on between. Well, it's already started. until November 15th. And we mentioned that briefly, I'm pretty sure, on a previous podcast. But so there's that. And then there's also the ongoing Lapras event in Japan as well. And that's happening until November 4th. So, fun there. They get a Flower Crown Eevee even more. Yeah, I know we talked about the London one because we were like, oh, Niantic. You said Niantic hated London because they got the Flower Crown Eevee increased spawn support.
Yeah.
But yeah. Now, if you are like Charles waiting to get something new out of the box, you need to wait until after 1 p.m. Pacific time on November 1st to open up your new box, or else it will still have Eevee and you will be upset and you will want to throw your phone across the room.
At that point, I'll probably be mad at myself for doing it so dumbly. But yeah. Wait, that is your best bet. And their stats have to show that, because I know I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people have. You know what? I'm not doing this right now. I'm not going to mess with this. So they have to see the stats have just tanked on people actually doing the research tasks or claiming them and all that. I hope anyway. That is my my desire. I can't even comprehend. I mean, you didn't even put possible evolutions in there, or there's some shinies, but it's just Eevee, right? So then you got to go through the evolution process if you get it.
It doesn't even seem to have like all that increased rates for shiny Eevee.
Yeah, it's
like,
what are you doing?
Like maybe if it was some extra like good chance to have shiny Eevee, maybe that'd be a bit more exciting. But
I guarantee you, because I understand the employees at Niantic probably play to varying levels, just like other average human beings. Joe plays more than me, so on and so forth. So, and plus they're busy, so it's not like they have a ton of time to just play all the time. And I guarantee you, somebody who doesn't play, even to my level, you know what? They're in a meeting. You're like, man, we got a lot of coding, and every time we put out a big update like we're about to do, it has a big potential of breaking the game for a couple hours to a day or two, and so on and so forth.
Let's just take a break and do
Yeah, exactly. They're like, what if we're dropping some new shadows, right? We're dropping that some more new generation. We're doing the holiday event. We're bringing back Spirit Bomb. We're throwing all these costumes out there. What if we just chilled out with the box and nobody will notice? Yeah.
They'll just all be upset.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, moving on this depression hole.
It also talks about some of the new announcements from the Willow Report. So we talked about the Willow Report last week, but they've added a couple new sections to it since then. So last week we talked about the radar, the rocket radar that was being prototyped. But in addition to that, they've shown a little bit about the new Team Rocket leaders. Let's see. Cliff is a muscular man with a distinct Pokeball beard.
Yeah,
you zoom in on that Pokeball beard. So apparently he is going to be one of the Team Rocket leaders when they finally roll out this Team Rocket event that they have been teasing us with. And the other announcement talks about Sierra, so another team leader. Now with that, the Cliff one, what do you think of their designs first off? We'll go there.
I like them. I like Cliff and his distinctive goatee. I like Sierra. They look like bad guys without being overly cheesy, and yeah, they match our current trainers as far as like art style. So it's I like it.
There you go. Yeah, it'll be fun, and I kind of like that they went with the white accents with Sierra. to differentiate a little bit there.
Yeah.
Kind of personal preference there instead of just the straight red and black that's normal for Team Rocket.
Oh, and even on, did you say his name was Cliff?
Cliff, yep.
They do the accents and they don't. It fits.
Yep. And surrounded by the red mist or the purple mist.
Purple. Purple mist. Purple mist.
You do you.
Yeah, so there's that. I love how, Joe, you found a way. I said, I'm not reading that stupid blog. I don't do that. And you have found a way 2 weeks in a row to force me to read the stupid blog. Kudos on you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, more Team Rocket grunts, more variety, and we'll have to wait and see how this goes. So, one of the things that stuck out to a bunch of different players was the references to Blanche in specifically the cliffhangers one. So a lot of the people noticed specifically that Blanche, up until now, they have not provided any gender-specific pronouns for Blanche. And in the cliffhangers report, they continue to be ambiguous using they and their on the announcement. And so a lot of fans are wondering if this is Pokemon / Niantic's way of subtly introducing a non-binary character into the games.
Yeah.
Sylveon on base, that's actually kind of my opinion as well. I understand why this would matter to some people.
Well, it in a positive way, it matters to the people who like to see themselves in games and TV, right?
Yes.
In the negative way, I'd be like, why does it hurt you? Shut up. And I haven't heard any negatives about it, but I'm sure somebody out there is going, and that's where it's like, what does it matter? It's a sprite in the game.
Ultimately, I don't pay much attention to the leaders at all in general. So
yeah,
they could completely change Blanche's character, and I would be like, okay. Now Blanche is a 6'5" giant Polynesian dude with tats out the wazoo. And I'd be like, okay, cool.
So you got me in the game. Awesome.
So.
But yeah, it doesn't, again, it doesn't affect the gameplay. But for those who like to see themselves that haven't, it can be a cool thing. Yeah, I'll give them that. That's cool. All right. I don't think we're rushed, but I feel rushed. So I'm going to jump on to this next one. So we've got, of course, the Regis are back, right? With their big brother coming in tow. And so we've got a new graphic on the counters. And it's very interesting to me because it doesn't happen that often that these graphics change. So we've had these come through before. But apparently Candelore is a big counter for two of these.
Yeah, so Candelore has some serious DPS when it comes as a fire type Pokemon, even beating out Moltres in pure DPS. Chandelure is comparable to a...
Oh, I said that wrong. Gotcha.
To like a fire Machamp, sort of. A little bit tankier, actually, than Machamp. But yeah, Chandelure hits Registeel and Regice real hard. The only one that beats out Chandelure against Regice is Metagross, and Metagross does really good against Regirock and Regice. So really, if you've got Chandelure, which, I mean, Chandelure's pretty new, so you may not have it. But yeah, so Chandelure, Metagross, specifically Metagross with Meteor Mash. If you don't have those, like I said last week, just use Machamp to punch it all in the face.
Yeah. But it's a very interesting thing. I mean, there are some other options, but yeah, just seeing Chandelure pop up there. And in the chat, I was just logging in so I could answer a question. But yes, in the chat, we're getting some new viewers today because we're at different times. So it's pinging different people. You can ask questions, and we might not answer them directly on the microphone here on the video, but we'll type it for sure. So by all means, ask your questions. And I mean, that goes for a podcast. If you're new to the podcast, this is a podcast, by the way, if you're new to Twitch. You can download it on all your podcatchers, Pokemon Go Podcast, and email us, show@PokemonGoPodcast.com, and we will answer your questions on air too. Just because you're not here live doesn't mean you don't get to ask. So we'd love to have that.
And speaking of questions, we do have one that's in chat right now. E3N_MK12 asks if they think it would be basically a good idea to make it so that fighting the gym leaders required you to specifically go to a gym of that color in order to fight them. While I love the concept, I prefer to leave it as is, specifically so that those that are at home, not near anything, can pull up Pokemon Go and have something to do if they want to. So I would prefer to keep it as is, but I do love conceptually that idea. Now, they could leave it as is and also make an addition similar to what you're suggesting, where if you battle the gym leaders at a gym of their color, perhaps they're stronger and you get better rewards for it. So that way we're not losing anything and we're incorporating this idea, which I think is a good idea. I would love to see something like that personally.
I get that. That is, I mean, well, if I have to go do something, I'm not going to experience it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you definitely won't. But I mean, if you battle the gym leaders, they're kind of pushovers in the game, and so having them be able to have a power boost would be nice in and of itself. So,
yeah, and I get that. It makes it more difficult for everybody who plays on different levels and so on and so forth. That's interesting. So, we talked about earlier, theorizing about how the boardroom conversations went with Flower Eevee and this and that and the other. And how I said, when they put out updates, they break things. That's just programming, right, Joe? I mean, that's just a thing that happens.
Yep.
What's going on with Niantic Wayfarer permissions?
So this past week, what was it? I think 5 days ago. I think it was on the 25th. But anyway, all of a sudden, a bunch of players were starting to get access to Wayfarer. And so there was this huge mega thread on Reddit being like, okay, who's got access? Where are you? Who's got access there? Who's got access here? Oh, not everyone has access, but you have access. And it was just all confusing what was all going on. It's one of those, these changes are happening rapidly. It's exciting. And then Niantic's like, oops. And they clicked it. They're like, oh, turn that off. So they accidentally had it on there, but they did announce specifically that if you got into Wayfarer, there's a quiz that you have to take in order to actually review points of interest. And they said that if you got in and did the quiz, you don't have to redo the quiz when they actually do make it live. And apparently Civilian on Base got in and reviewed over 4,000 points. Now I haven't actually looked to see what the points do or if they matter, but Civilian on Base reviewed over 4,000 points before Niantic said oops and turned it back off. But
now in the game it still shows on mine that I can put new Pokestop, and it says unlocked at 40, but that's still not
and that only shows for people under 40, and it tells you can't access it until you're 40. But if you are 40, it's like, Now,
where were they trying to release it?
I don't know. They have released it to several new countries this past week. Like Chile got it within the past couple of days, and a couple other countries got it as well, but not here in the U.S.
Okay. It's just slow rolling out. All right. Well, as I mentioned, Community Day is coming up, and it's going to be on November 16th, and of course, December. So here's some PVE raid tier list. Which, you know what, Joe, I still have a bone to pick with you and Ibit for yelling me down. You don't go raiding on Community Day.
This
Why would
isn't
you do that?
this isn't what you think it is.
Oh, dang it. Well, still, I went raiding and I got cool stuff and plenty of people raided with me. So forget you and Ibit.
you,
All right, carry on.
you done did goofed. You read the title and made assumptions.
I did, but I made my point and I'm happy.
So this is specifically highlighting what you should do on the December Community Day, because we're assuming that December Community Day is going to allow you to evolve past Community Day Pokemon just like you could last year and get their Community Day move. And so it's taken a bunch of the Community Day Pokemon and broken them up into tier lists on who should be priorities on who to evolve. So basically who to use your candy for, and also who to specifically target to get candy for between now and the December Community Day, which is going to, again, take place over 2 days. It's pretty early on. I think it's like the second weekend of December. Yeah, the 14th and 15th of December is that Community Day. And so, the tier list, Metagross with Meteor Stomp, top tier, just like we were talking about a moment ago when we were reviewing the counters for the Regis. Metagross, top counter for 2 of the Regis. Metagross, top tier, get that on there. And remember, you can't TM to a Metagross to get a Community Day move, even if it's during the time frame. You have to evolve a Beldum or a I'm blanking on the middle form, but you've got to evolve into Metagross. The next top tier options are Tyranitar, Blaziken, and Salamence. So all of those are top tier. The Salamence probably I would move down a little bit, just because there's quite a few dragon type Pokemon that can act as substitutes there. But yes, still up there.
Yeah.
And then you're seeing the next couple of tiers are starter Pokemon. So Venusaur, Sceptile, Swampert in tier 3. And then in tier 4, Charizard, Feraligatr, and Torterra. Get out there, grab those. And this is also making the assumption that, because are these all from just this past year? No, because Charizard Community Day was Charizard and Venusaur were too far back. So yeah, this is assuming that every Community Day is available and not just the Community Days from this past year. So there are quite a few assumptions being made here, but it is good to, even if they're not available, it is good to store up candies so you can power up the ones that you do have that have the Community Day moves.
Yeah. And I'm glad to have Metagross. That is definitely one of the ones I nailed this year, as far as having the Meteor Mash, Smash, Crash, whatever it is. I don't have that Blaziken or that. Well, actually, what's the move on Salamence? Because I was traded a Salamence, and I might actually have that one.
Outrage.
All right, I'm gonna have to look it up because I closed my game for a second. But yeah, I mean, I have the evolutions of all of these, but I'm pretty sure none of them have the Community Day move other than Metagross. I do know for sure Metagross has that. Just I had made sure I have a shiny Metagross that has it.
I have.
That's like my one claim to fame there.
I have 5 Salamence with the Community Day move. Unfortunately, I think I've just got the one Metagross with.
I do. I have the one that Barry Folk traded me. It's a shiny Salamence with Outrage and Fire Fang. So, That's cool. Thank you, Barry. You're the best.
Yeah, but I've got a bunch of. Oh yeah, there you go. Rock Eddie. It says type @special, and you can see some of these.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna try that real quick. What is our next headline?
Yeah. So @special will have all the specials, not just Community Day moves. It's Legacy move Pokemon, but yep.
So even from time to time, we get he's still playing that game. Yeah, I think we're about to, with this next headline, prove that Pokemon Go might not last very much longer, and they're kind of struggling, right, Joe?
Yeah,
is that how that works?
Struggling real bad, real bad. So yeah, Pokemon Go has, as of this week, reportedly hit $3 billion in lifetime revenue. So this is a game that's been out for less than 3.5 years. So it is doing real good. Real good.
Yeah, 3 billion in lifetime. That's basically $1 billion a year, roughly.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty solid.
Yeah. I would like to make $1 billion a year. That'd be nice.
Yeah. not hating on that at all, for sure.
All of a sudden, all of Charles's podcasts would turn into a travel documentary podcast. Be like,
oh yeah, I would never stay home. I'd be on location for everything.
But I still
there's a random Pokemon in Antarctica. Let's go find it.
I still think you'd have the creative itch, though, that you'd need.
Oh God, yeah. I'd do shows all the time.
Yeah, it would be nonstop. Oh, we're at this location. You'd have to buy some specialty equipment to do.
I have a crew to follow me. Yeah, man. We go full on. This would be, you think Mystic does it right. You wait till I get my $1 billion a year, and then it's yeah, man. That's a dream. I mean, that's why I do these shows, is to be able to do this full time. And most of the people on the network see it that way as well. But it's not required on Giant Size Team Up. So I know, Joe, you're always like, no, it's kind of fun. But I think honestly, Joe, if money weren't an issue, I think you might do more. I mean, it might not be more podcasting and this kind of creative, but like your map.
Yeah, I'd be doing a lot more creative stuff.
Yeah.
If money was an issue, I'd be a professional DM. Those exist. You laugh,
no,
but they do.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, I was just on Reddit earlier this week.
There is a job for everybody in this world.
Looking at an AMA and Ask Me Anything on there, where a guy was like, my only job is as a professional DM. I DM for 5 different groups, and that's where all. And now, granted, he's got a very, very, very low cost of living. It wouldn't work for most people.
He lives in a van down by the river.
You're not far off.
Yeah.
He said he lives in a hollowed out school bus that he has converted into an apartment.
If they did it right, that's actually really nifty. That's like urban camping kind of thing, as opposed to just found an abandoned bus and you live in a junkyard. There needs to be a little more context, but that actually can be pretty cool. But that is a really low cost of living. I mean, his Wi-Fi, well, I guess he'd have Wi-Fi off his phone, wouldn't he?
Yeah, or he goes to parks near
parks outside the public library.
Yep.
So yeah. All right. So this next one I found today, just because I was trying to look up headlines, I wasn't sure what we're going to find. And we know that there have been issues with the Plus after iOS 13 came out. And then, of course, the game itself, Pokemon Go, updated. But now, according to, I've never heard of the site, so take it with a grain of salt, imore.com. Never heard of it before. But apparently it has resolved, Niantic has resolved the issues with the Pokemon Go Plus, connecting and staying connected. And they announced apparently on the 28th, that'd be Monday of this week, that they had actually resolved it. So I haven't had any. That's not true. I did have an issue the other day where it just wouldn't connect. I've gotten back to where I have to hold my gotcha right now. I'll actually hang it on the corner of the phone while it's trying to do the sync, and the sync's taking a little bit longer. But yeah, I haven't had much issues. Have you had very many issues, Joe?
No. So we talked a couple weeks back about when the issues first started. Probably about 3 weeks ago now. I feel like. Anyway, um, I had to basically unpair it in every way possible and then repair it. And I only had to do that. I did it that time, and I did it one other time, and I haven't had any issues since. So my issues were a lot more mild than a lot of people were having.
And mine, I didn't actually have to repair at all. Mine just were like, oh, it didn't connect. Hit it again. And again, sometimes it's still the same idea of it just didn't register to touch. So, I've had that issue on and off throughout the game period of it's trying to load too much stuff too fast. Like, oh, here's your announcements. Oh, somebody threw a thing. Oh, we got news. Oh, all this other stuff. And like, oh, there's an egg. And I'm just trying to pair my device. Stop it.
Oh yeah, if I load up my the app and I have an egg hatch at the same time when it tries to show me news, my game completely freezes up and I have to clear out and get back in. So that's another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had that in a long time, but apparently now they have fixed it, and you should be able, for the most part, to be able to pair your device and forget it. Rocky Eddie was up to 1,200 Pokeballs since his wasn't working.
Oh, was that all?
That's stupid. That's both of you. That's just dumb. That's way too many things.
So
that's a lot.
To put that into context, the most you can have for items right now, item storage, is 2,000. So that means he had 800 spots open for everything else in his bag.
Yeah. That's a lot of stuff.
Yep.
You guys and your bags of holding, man. That's crazy.
I prefer the handy haversack personally, but to each their own.
You don't know. All right. One last thing. Now, do you want to do this? Are we doing this as trivia? So yeah. I should do announcements for. Okay. So quick update announcements. We are changing some stuff up probably by the end of the year. Our standard time is still going to be 8 o'clock. Yep. I think is what we do now. 8 to 9 Eastern on Thursday night. Yeah,
just look at the banner. I fixed it.
Yeah, but still not 8 o'clock on Thursday night right now. So no, but we're trying to grow, right? We're trying to grow the show, move forward with. Joe's got to have that professional DM job, So we're trying to do things. So what's going to happen? We're making a way for you, the listener, to support us easily by doing nothing but listen to the show and telling your friends about the show and saying, hey, check this out. And this is for the podcast, obviously, but we're going to be moving to Anchor in the near future, and then you'll start getting little advertisements. However, we're also going to be having an ad-free version on Patreon. So for as little as $1 a month, you can have the ad-free version. And they'll probably go up at the same time. If not, the ad-free would go up a little bit faster than the ad-filled version. But yeah, so just so you know, that change is coming. And you know what? If you want to support us, it's patreon.com/Pokemon GO Podcast. It really helps us move forward and do amazing things that we're trying to do together. And for me across the network as well. I do this across all of my shows, and all of us are making these changes. And if you're on Twitch, of course, that sub that like Civilian on Base did, that was awesome. If you have Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime, you can do that for free. They give you tokens to support your creators, and we'd love to have that kind of help to just keep doing awesome stuff like we do, that kind of thing. And you know what, Joe? You and I might talk about a financial marker, but we could do extra content, as we went along. So that's something we hadn't talked about, but
that's
might
true.
Be a
extra
thing.
Episodes here and there.
So yeah, so make sure you subscribe on your podcast player, right? That way you get the audio downloaded to your car. That's free, as opposed to the word subscribe on Twitch, which is you financially supporting us because you follow, and we love the follow. So everybody who's come out new today, go ahead and hit that heart button, follow us. We'd love to hear you, see you, all that jazz. If you'd like to email us with any kind of comments or questions or suggestions, that is show@PokemonGoPodcast.com, or you can tag us if you're part of our Patreon group. You can tag us in our Discord at I believe it's Merrick Banhammer and I'm the Rock Out of Pod, of course. So there is all that. I'm actually going to do a quick check of the mail because I did forget. But Joe, what time is it?
It is time for random trivia. And being that tomorrow is Halloween, I know we've talked about this in the past, but it is always good to have a reminder of some of the most disturbing Pokedex entries available. So coming in first here will be Kadabra, specifically Kadabra's Fire Red Pokedex entry. It talks about how a boy with extrasensory powers, so with psychic powers, woke up and had transformed into a Kadabra. So no longer a human. This little boy was now a Kadabra. So couldn't even explain to his parents what happened. You know, just that horrifying image right there. Oh, Kadabra, that Pokemon can only say their name unless they're, you know, special in the movie and need to convey something. So, yeah.
But Kadabra's psychic.
Yeah.
So can't you just put the story in somebody's head?
I have not seen a version of Kadabra that could do that. Mewtwo is able to do that in a couple of the movies. But Kadabra has not displayed that in any of the current media to my knowledge.
Okay. So you're burying the lead on this one. The 2 points underneath. All Abras are horribly deformed human children.
No. So that is
that means one of two things. Okay.
Yeah, that is the theory of the person that wrote the article that I'm taking these from, this compiled list. Yeah, so their theory is that all all Abras horribly deformed human children, that they started off as humans and became Abras, or is it when they evolve into Kadabras, somehow the Abra switches places? You know, there's a bunch of different possibilities here, but yeah,
it's messed up.
It is messed up. The next one is Drowsy, specifically the silver Pokedex entry.
Wow. This is like the perfect trivia for our Halloween episode, though, by the way.
So it remembers every dream it eats. It rarely eats the dreams of adults because children's are much tastier.
Jeez. That is...
Nom, nom, nom.
Now, what's wrong with a Pokemon that brings light into the world? A Lampent.
Oh, so the Black 2 Pokedex entry.
Cow.
What?
I'm reading what it says on the screen. That's what.
It says that
oh my god.
The spirits it absorbs fuel its baleful fire, so the lamp is fueled by spirits, and it hangs around hospitals waiting for people to pass on. So it hangs around waiting for people to die, so it can take their spirit to fuel the lamp.
The quote is, "You will long for the grandness of hellfire once you begin to burn within me." Wow, that is crazy. All right. Well, we all know Yamask is, although I keep mixing the words up with Yanma, so I'll call it Yanmask.
Yanmask.
Yeah, but Yamask is just disturbing.
Its mouth isn't
anyway.
open enough to be a Yanmask. So its Black Pokedex entry for Yanmask says that each of them, so talking about Yanmask, carries a mask that used to be its face when it was human. Sometimes they look at it and cry. So
wow.
Yanmask, its actual face is the red eye up above. Right. So that's the actual face. The mask below, according to this Pokedex entry, is its face when it was human.
That's creepy.
Yep.
All right. Now, Gorbis is just a Ariel-esque fish weirdo.
Yeah, very weird. Especially its Pokedex entry from Sapphire, where it says that although Gorbis is the very picture of elegance and beauty while swimming. It is also cruel. When it spots prey, this Pokemon inserts its thin mouth into the prey's body and drains the prey of its
Like
body
a fish
fluids.
mosquito.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Nom nom nom. See, I'm surprised Drifloon isn't further up on the list.
Right.
But we've talked about Drifloon before, how it's Pokedex entry, and this article has two of them from Heart Gold and Black 2. Talks about how it whispers to children, and that they think it's a balloon, so they grab hold of it, and they could wind up missing. Specifically, they
Lord.
take children. Now this doesn't have the Pokedex set here, but it tugs them away. Oh, it has down below in a note.
Yeah, in a note. Yeah.
In the Pokemon Pearl, it tugs the hands of children to steal them away, and basically take them to the underworld.
But in the Pearl, it says, however, it gets pulled around instead. Yeah, no, this is a little dark.
Yeah,
Pokemon.
There was actually a fairly recent. What was it? It was just a few months ago. It was artwork, but in the background, it showed a Drifloon, and a child was holding its hand, and so it's like, all right, bye, kid. We're never gonna see you again.
I mean, there's no win here. It's like it either steals the children or it wants to, but it's such a failure that it just gets pulled around in a humiliating defeat. Yep. This is crazy. All right, now Cacturn looks like a freaking horror themed scarecrow. Period.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, that's a Batman villain right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if a traveler, this is from its Sapphire Pokédex entrance, says if a traveler is going through a desert in the thick of night, Cacturn will follow in a ragtag group. The Pokemon are biding their time, waiting for the traveler to tire and become incapable of moving. So yeah, they're gonna hunt you, and they're just gonna shadow you until you can't.
It's I'm reading from it here. It's a roving gang of sentient cacti.
Yep.
This ain't gonna end well.
Haunter is the next one on the list. Haunter, its tongue is made of gas, so if licked, its victim starts shaking constantly until death eventually comes.
Holy cow, this is so dark.
Yeah, so that is the silver Pokedex entry. Banette, the emerald Pokedex entry says that an abandoned plush doll became this Pokemon. Having creepy dolls right off the bat, that's a way to talk about Halloween. But they are said to live in garbage dumps and wander about in search of the children that threw them away.
Oh my god!
So
Dusclops.
If you're gonna throw away a doll, you better just
burn it
to ashes.
Burn it. Now, Dusclops is the mummy one, right? We talked about that when it first came out last year. Very much a mummy. So, according to Ruby, it's completely hollow. There's no body inside. It is said that its body is like a black hole. This Pokemon will absorb anything into its body, but nothing will ever come back out. That is what ruined Shoney's in America. That's why they don't exist anymore.
Oh man, he actually reminds me of a character from My Hero Academia that's called Black Hole, where it's basically the same thing. It can suck up bad guys.
Did it have a kid?
No,
so no Black Hole son. Okay. Honedge. Now Honedge isn't what I want. It just looks cool. I'd like to see this come to the game.
Yeah. So this is from a Pokemon Y Pokedex entry. So we're not going to get Honedge for... Well, actually, Pokemon Y is Gen 6, and we've currently got Gen 5. So I guess it might be closer. Be closer than you think. Yeah. But if anyone dares to grab its hilt, it wraps a blue cloth around that person's arm and drains that person's life energy completely.
Worth it.
The next one is Phantump, which is also Pokemon Y.
Is this dead Groot? I'm just curious.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I was Groot. According to...
All right, Joe, that's a good one. Oh my god.
According to old tales, these Pokemon are stumps possessed by the spirits of children who died while lost in the forest.
Wow. Yeah. You got to wonder. It's like, I don't know how many of these come at once. If we're reading them all at once, right? But they're spread out over years.
Oh,
but you got to wonder, obviously the creators of the game are not named Johnson or Smith, but like, all right, Johnson, I'm going to need you to give me a new Pokemon. And then they write this and, you wonder if their bosses ever go, I think you need a few days off. I mean, we're going to use it all because we're on a deadline. But here, take a week. Go see the psychiatrist. Get some help.
They're really making sure you remember that the Mon in Pokemon stands for monster.
Monster, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. The next one in this list, Gourgeist. So it's a poltergeist gourd. It's a jack-o'-lantern basically that's possessed. But anyway, the Pokemon Y Pokedex entry says it enwraps its prey in its hair-like arms. It sings joyfully as it observes the suffering of its prey.
Man, that is a cool monster, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so it grabs you, and the more you struggle and suffer, the happier it gets.
Okay. So he does make a reference to pumpkin spice lattes. But the last line, I would never wish strangled to death by a ghost plant who was humming Katy Perry songs on anyone.
This next one is Yveltal, which is the Pokemon Y legendary mascot, the one on the box art.
So cool.
Yveltal's Pokedex entry says, when its life comes to an end, it absorbs the life energy of every living thing and turns into a cocoon once more. So if it's going down, it's taking us all with it.
Now, it does say every living thing. That means the trainers and everything.
Yeah. So
I'd say that's a little OP. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I would hope that there's at least a radius to which it could actually happen, but
Now in our game,
specify.
If we were to get this one now, I'd work hard because the art.
Don't
really
transfer
cool.
that because we'll all die.
But I'm wondering if the mechanic in the game would be just an extra damage. Like you beat your Veltal, but as it fainted out, it throws extra damage onto the Pokemon that killed it. I mean, that would be a mechanic in our game that could work. Because that's crazy powerful. That's cool. All right.
Yeah.
So
this, in the main series game, his ability is called Dark Aura. And so that it deals extra damage if he's using a dark type move. And it actually causes I was thinking it caused reflection damage, but no, it doesn't. But yeah, so it's dark. It is a very dark themed Pokemon. It's dark flying, and it just wants to kill everything apparently.
Now this last one is just a cute. It's like a fat Torchic. It's just a cute little ball of redness and puffy fur.
Yeah, this one is not so much scary as it is disturbing.
Okay.
But yeah, Darumaka, its Pokemon White Pokedex entry says that Darumaka's droppings are hot, so people used to put them in their clothes to keep themselves warm.
No! Bad touch. Bad touch. What are you doing? Oh my god. Hot monkey poop. Oh my god. Joe, what game did you get me into playing, man?
You're too far down the rabbit hole now.
Yeah, no, I can't leave now, but holy cow. I gotta pray for everybody who loves this game. This is crazy. That is Out of that list, what would be your favorite to have?
To have, like,
Like obviously, I like your Vettel, or I already closed it, but Yvette. I'm just gonna call her Yvette.
I, just from a uh, purely a design concept, I really like Phantom. Phantom's
Yeah.
real cute.
Yeah. So that's cool. I like a lot of them. I think they're cool. I do like that they took on the horror aspect of monster, the Mon part of the Pokemon name, and it's cool. And these are 15 out of 800. I think we're at now overall.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Oh,
about, and it's about to
more,
grow when they
8 or
drop Sword and
900.
Shield. Yeah. So it's fun. It's cool. It is a little disturbing. I mean, some of these backstories are really disturbing, but it's kind of fun. All right, Joe, you got anything else before we jump out of here?
That last one, Darumaka, he's Gen 5, so we could get him whenever Niantic feels like it. So then you could have your hot monkey poo.
Oh no. I'm putting in a title. There's my title. All right. So you want to email us like we talked about. You got questions, email them anytime. It doesn't matter that we're 3 years in. It doesn't matter if you first started, if you left the game, came back. You want to talk to us, hit us up. Show at PokemonGoPodcast.com. We'll read your email. It'll be awesome. You can also email or use your voice, rather, leave us a voicemail at PokemonGoPodcast.com. There's a nice little tab. This speak pipe tab says, hey, leave us a message. I almost forgot, and we'll have to hold it. We have a voicemail, but because of our recording situation and the fact that I forgot till now, I don't have the setup ahead of time.
Yeah, because you're not at your house with your normal setup.
My personal studio. So we do have a Cheeky Nashville voicemail to play, but it'll have to be next week, Cheeky. Sorry about that. But we definitely look forward to it and love when Cheeky calls in. But you can do that as well by going to the website. Reddit's r/Pokemon Go Podcast. Facebook is Pokemon Go Podcast. Twitter's at Pokemon Go Pod. And if you want to watch us either live or in the video on demand as we record the podcast, it is twitch.tv/Pokemon Go Podcast, typically Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. You might be watching the recording right now. We'll be back live 8 p.m. Eastern, pretty much going forward until Christmas week. We'll figure out that schedule next. Thanksgiving and Christmas, we got to talk about, figure that out. So there's all that. But yeah, checks out watching the video there. Of course, you can find us on YouTube as well by either searching Giant Size Team Up Network or Pokemon Go Podcast. And we are the one with 171 shows, not 3 episodes where some bigger name stole the title and didn't care.
They've gotten more publicity from you complaining about them than anything else.
A little bit, but I have to be clear. It's like, no, if you search it because they've got the YouTube whatever behind them, you'll find them first, and that's not us. We actually did our jobs consistently. All right, tiny.cc/GSTU in all caps. That's capital G, capital S, capital T, capital U. That is where you can buy our merchandise, and we have the Squirtles are still up in the store as we speak. Teenage Mutant Ninja Squirtle.
See, and I think those are going to stay up because they are transformed sufficiently
to not trigger algorithms and whatnot. So, and we need to work on a shirt for the holidays.
Yep. And of course, there's a site-wide sale.
No, I got it, Joe. Me and you as Pokemon with the stupid Santa hats. We gotta make it happen. We'll have to talk about that. We'll make that happen.
And of course, TeePublic has a sale going on for the next almost 2 days, 38 hours. So,
and I guarantee you, they will have a Black Friday sale. I guarantee that's going to happen. So great gifts for everybody. I mean, I'm talking about stickers, buttons, mugs. There's not just $20 T-shirts. There's all kind of cool things, magnets for your fridge. I mean, it's all kind of, you can turn them into stuff, and you can see all the other awesome network show merchandise there as well. Again, we're a proud member of Giant Size Team Up Network at gstu.net is where you can find us and everybody else. So welcome, Athena, who got in at the last minute, and we're about to get done here. But if you're live, stick around for a few minutes. Joe, where can they find you on the web?
You can find me at Joseph_Ard. And as I've mentioned before, you can also find me at patreon.com/assortedgeekdom. It'll probably be in about 6 months further, but there will be a new project with Assorted Geekdom coming on. So stay tuned for that. I hinted at it in the chat today that it will be a D&D. I'll just say it. It'll be a D&D podcast. So I am working on creating a homebrew world with a lot of homebrew races, and it should be a lot of fun.
That is really, really cool, man.
Unlike Botched, which is on the network and a D&D podcast, mine will be a family-friendly podcast.
Yeah, there's lots of times I argue with, well, family-friendly depends on your family. Not with Botched. It is by no definition ever a family-friendly.
There's not safe for work, and then there's not safe for life. Botched is not safe for life.
That is so true. I still listen, but that is absolutely on point. All right, you can find me at Rock Got a Pod on Twitter, Rock Got a Podcasting across all of social media. Half dozen shows I do. I got one tomorrow, EMS Underground. We're doing big things in the world of medicine and emergency medicine, specifically in Georgia and in the United States. So come check us out. Tune in next week to hear Joe say,
if you see any Driftlooms on Halloween, just avoid them. Don't touch any balloons in general on Halloween. Just don't do it. Especially red ones. Just let it go.
All right. So I stopped the Zoom, which will be the podcast. All right, people live. If I do that.
Haha.
Oh, you got it. Showbot. I couldn't remember. Thank you, Joe. So if you follow that link, you can vote on the titles, which actually I had to turn to see, so I'm not sure how much people.
There are 3.
Go.
So there's Tricks Abound from me. There is from Civilian on Base. Holiday Eevee is Charles's fave Pokemon. And from Charles, there's Poop-e-mon.
Yeah, so gross.
So head on.
And I've already got a vote for mine because we're all children here. So yeah, go and click that link. It is a safe link to click there in the chat.
It's
the one that says showbot.tv. It is, yeah. And you can vote. And right now, well, I haven't voted once. And right now, Poop-e-mon is the winning title so far, Joe.
I suspect that it will take it. We're just waiting on it to render. Yeah. So here in a couple minutes, we will close the voting and go from there.
Yeah. That's funny. So,
I probably should have mentioned this on the air, but oh well. Do we have any patrons in the chat right now? I'm not sure we do.
I am not sure if we do or not.
But oh yeah, Ellie. Ellie's there, but I'm not sure if I don't think Ellie's I'd have to check. But anyway, I'm making my annual little hand painted cards that I send out around this time of year. They are painted to reflect my pumpkin that I paint each year. So actually, oh yeah, I'm showing my pumpkin, so I can just pull it up. So that is, it showed it for a brief moment.
There it is. Yeah, it did show it for a moment.
But yeah, so that is my pumpkin from this year. It is well, I guess I don't really have to describe it because we're not on the podcast anymore. But yeah, so there's my Pikachu pumpkin. And I've been working on a whole bunch of cards that I hand painted to send out to our top tier patrons.
So you're not going to send pumpkins to our top tier patrons?
No. But yeah.
So,
and you may have seen me scroll past. Those are my last 4 years of pumpkins.
I'm just checking the quality of our audio. I do sound good today. I never. I can't. This is the time when I'm in this office. I can't hear myself back till it's done. So I never quite know.
So, all right. Well, we will close it there.
All
Poop-e-mon
right.
wins with 4 votes.
We're such children. I love it. I love it. All right. Next week, we will be back at 8:00 on Thursday night. And again, this week, this will rerun. If I can,
If you
I
can
know
figure it
Twitch isn't
out.
letting you do premieres anymore. Because usually you could record something and then premiere it on Twitch, and Twitch is taking that away. So I'm hoping that they haven't taken the rerun or rescheduled broadcast. Yeah, I see your Dragon Con volunteer shirt there. That is way big on you now. So, but yeah, we're gonna be running that again. So, all right, thanks everybody for coming out and hanging out with us today. We hope you have a good Halloween. And if you forget and tune in tomorrow night, you'll see this again.
All right. Have a good one. And